And we're back, people. Happy weekend. Hope you're all good. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Wherever you are in this world, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you're listening. If you're listening on Catch Up, big up to yourself. If you're here live in the chat, hello to you all. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're getting on the way to 50K, and it's quite quickly that we're getting there. So big up to everybody that has already hit like, and massive thank you to everyone that has hit subscribe. It is free. Both those buttons are free, like and subscribe, and they're the two that count. So please make sure that you do hit them. Make sure that you do listen to everybody who is moderating in the chat tonight. Big up to you, mods. Keep it respectful to anybody in the chat, or you'll get kicked out. It really is quite simple. Over 200 people in here already, which is amazing. So make sure that you do me a favor, and all of you have hit the like and subscribe. Got to do a quick show before we go watch the Usyk Daniel Dubois fight. Of course, Lawrence Okoli is fighting at the moment. I thought, you know what? I don't really want to miss that one, but I really don't want to miss the Usyk fight. So, of course, I'll be watching that one. But we're not here to talk boxing. We're really not. We're here to talk Arsenal. We're here to talk Gyokeres. We're here to talk Madueke. We're here to talk Mosquera. And we're here to talk, well, the fact that they're going away soon. And we still don't have a striker. What is going on? Why is the Victor Gyokeres deal being delayed so much? Why is he not here? Why is he not going to be on the plane? Why is he not going to be able to join up with the squad? Well, it doesn't look like it's going to get done in time, does it? So we're going to be talking about that. And let's get some questions in from you guys as well. Any super chats you've got, I'll obviously read out on screen. Anything that you want to talk about, please whack it into the chat. I don't know what's happened with Eze. No idea what's happening there. It doesn't look like we're pursuing anything at the moment. I think we're too busy trying to get the other deals done, if I'm honest. Obviously, Eze is one that we are definitely linked with. And we're also going to be talking about Rodrygo as well. So let's get yourself locked in, hit like and subscribe, and make sure you're doing one thing and one thing only as well. Following Match Bingo. Live chat, there is a link. In the description, there is a link. And if you do need to scan the QR code, then of course I'll put it on screen now. It's there. Make sure you've downloaded it. Make sure you've credited Fiverr to your account. The app can be downloaded from this link. Make sure you're involved in Match Bingo. People are winning. There's really good fun to play. Automatically, it ticks off for you, so you don't need to do anything other than to pay for your cards. And then good luck, because there's a lot of people that are saying that they're winning. We're going to talk about Alexander Isak in a bit as well, because Eddie Howe's made some very interesting comments, which has made a lot of Newcastle fans very nervous about his future by him being completely omitted from the team squad today because of what's happening in speculation. So, we're going to be talking about the future of him as well, which I hope is not going to Liverpool. We're going to catch up, first of all, with a little bit of what's happening on AFC stuff, because I haven't really done any major announcements, and there has been stuff. I've been busy. There were shows yesterday at the time. They guys touched on it. And on that point, big up to the show last night, by the way, because the girls were absolutely amazing. Sophie, incredible, superb, unbelievable host. One of the best in the business, in my opinion. And of course, you had Lucy, clear, articulate, passionate, superb views. You've got Olivia. I thought Liv was outstanding with what she did last night. Really not afraid to give her opinions and say it how it is. And of course, we had Ella as well, who I thought was incredibly articulate and passionate about the club. And it's great to see some different voices, but also some actual passionate sort of female supporters in the game that have a real passionate sort of thought about the men's game as well. So I hope you all enjoyed that last night. We're going to make that a monthly thing. So the girls will be back at the end of the month to talk about the season. So I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I had some superb feedback from it as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. But you've got me tonight. You're back with me. And we're going to start with the Madueke news. And we're just going to run down what's been happening over the last few hours on AFC stuff. Because, you know, this place, it stores it all nicely. We can run through it together. I haven't looked myself yet. So I've got to be honest. It'll be quite nice to see myself what's been updated. I've had a bit of a family day today. So let's get back to some news. Obviously, this is not shocking news. It's not breaking news. And it is now old news. But we have signed Noni Madueke. Now, this is a signing that I've got to be honest, I am not a huge lover of. However, I disagree completely with those that have said that he has been abused, that he has been messaged on social media by Arsenal fans. It is actually crazy. This is not what I want to be hearing. these people are not football fans. They are scumbags. Now Noni Madueke is here. I'm not going to say everybody has to get behind him and believe this is the best signing. What we will have to do, though, is at least, at the bare minimum, give him a chance to do something in an Arsenal shirt. That's what I'm going to be like. I'm not one of these, well, might as well get behind him now. Because if you're not truly behind it, you're now believing that he needs to prove you wrong. And that's okay. But at least allow him to. Allow him to wear the shirt and allow him to do what he believes he can do. And then, let's be honest, he will then answer the critics or the questions that we have of the player. He's come across really well in his interview. He's brought up a few players that he's been linked with. So I've got to be honest. Noni Madueke, it doesn't excite me, but at the same time, I'm willing to give him a chance. Ramsdale didn't excite me. There was other players over the years that hasn't excited me, but they've proven me wrong. So, look, Noni Madueke is an Arsenal player. It's on a long-term contract. Apparently, the price is 52 million. I don't know if that means he starts on the left or he's back up for the right or he's a bit of a versatile player. I truly believe he's a squad player, but it is a hell of a lot of money to be playing and putting on a squad player. He, of course, is going to be the number 20. He's taken that shirt number off of Jorginho. A lot of people believed he was going to be the number 10, the number 11, the number 14. Well, he's the number 20. So let's just calm down with giving him numbers that people don't want to. I actually don't care about what number you have on your back, because if somebody said to me, give me this number and it's number 26, and I become an Arsenal legend by the number 26, that for me is a lot more of an achievement than being given the number 7, which is already iconic at Arsenal, or the number 10, and trying to be a player on that. So for me, I think it doesn't matter what number you have as long as you are giving your all. And I hope that he does well in the number 20 shirt. So that's the signing that's been signed, sealed and delivered. Speaking about it, Andrea Berta said that we're very pleased to have concluded an excellent deal for a hugely talented young player in Noni Madueke. Noni's performance on numbers and availability over recent seasons has been exceptional, reflecting his quality and professionalism. Noni is a dynamic, versatile wide forward with strong technical ability who will significantly strengthen our squad. Noni already has valuable experience at the top level, and we know he'll make a big impact to Arsenal. Together with everyone at the club, we warmly welcome Noni to Arsenal. So look, Berta's definitely had a say in this, but for me, Mikel Arteta is the guy that I believe has identified him, and Berta's gone alongside it. That's what's happened here. Apparently, due to the playing commitments in the Club World Cup, he will be joining up with the Arsenal squad in early August after their Asia tour. So basically, he's going to have a couple of weeks where he's not going to be with the side. He's going to have his rest. He's obviously been playing part in the Club World Cup. He hasn't really had his rest yet, and all the other Arsenal players do. So I'm all right with this. This doesn't bother me. I'm absolutely fine by him having a couple more weeks to rest and chill. At no point getting him in, rushing him back, potentially getting him injured, just to try and get him sorted for this pre-season tour. I want everybody there, but I want everybody there fit. Yeah, I don't want everybody rushed there. I don't want people coming back from injury and having to play when they're not ready. I don't mind them going and chilling, but for me, I think it's time for the fitness to come in, and that is always going to take priority. So that's Noni Madueke. Let's see what Arteta has said. Arteta has said that we're also happy to welcome Noni to the team. He's an exciting and powerful young player. With his performances and numbers in recent seasons being of consistent high quality, he's one of the most talented wide forward players in the Premier League. At just 23, Noni already brings experience of club and international football, and he knows the Premier League well. Having seen the quality of his performances up close in recent seasons, we're really excited that he's joining us. He joins our group with familiar England teammates and other players he knows. He'll be made to feel at home straight away. His arrival will really improve our squad. We're thrilled to have him here. And from all of us, welcome, Noni. Welcome to your family. Now, there's a couple of things there that Mikel Arteta has said, which I think are really proven to me, or evidence that this is his kind of player, because he's brought up the attributes that he has, and he's also brought up the consistency in his numbers of recent couple of seasons in the Premier League. So when he brings up key words here, like the performance and numbers in recent seasons are consistently high, one of the most talented wide forwards in the Premier League. At 23, has experience in the Premier League and also internationally. He's seen the quality of performances up close in recent seasons, which means that he's clearly been looking at him individually, believing that he is lacking some of those attributes in the attack for Arsenal. He's really excited, of course, that he's coming in with some England teammates that he's aware of. And I think with it being a World Cup year next season, he's going to have to be aware of that. And likewise, if we signed Eze on top of who we've already got in Saka and Rice and Lewis-Skelly, etc., I think they're all going to be looking at that, believing they need to be playing as many games as possible because of that. And I don't know that Noni Madueke is going to be guaranteed regular game time, but I do know that he will play because he is going to be a squad player that I think is going to be utilised. And it might even be there's some games where if we don't buy a left winger, he's playing and utilised out there. He's definitely going to cover Saka at right wing, that's for sure. I think Ethan Nwaneri is there also for that number. But when you start to look at how many players that we already have now, if we were to bring in Eze, I would be surprised if we went for Rodrygo as well. But we'll come to that in a bit. So that's Noni Madueke. Obviously, he's been signed and there's been a lot of talk on it. He was announced yesterday and he was talking about some of the players. He said they've all been amazing. They've said amazing things about the club. Happy to be a part of the Arsenal family. And he's spoken in particular to Jurriën Timber, Bukayo Saka, Lewis-Skelly and Declan Rice. Apparently, Declan Rice wrote a letter to welcome him. Now, look, he obviously knows Lewis-Skelly, Declan Rice and Saka from the international squad. They've clearly had a bit of a chat with him and started talking about, why Arsenal would be a good move for him and why it's a good place to play and great club to be around. And Jurriën Timber, I believe he probably knows from the Eredivisie because he was over at PSV, if you remember. And obviously, Jurriën Timber was bought from Ajax. So I imagine there's a link there somehow that they're aware of each other's presence or each other's company. So I believe they've probably been friends before. And I imagine he probably has spoken to Jurriën Timber alongside the English boys and said, look, what's it like there? Yeah, I've got to be honest. I like that. Whether you're a fan of this or not, I like the fact that he's going to find it easy to settle in. It's not like he's going to have to sit around for ages trying to make sure that he can get himself into a kind of settlement period or get used to this league, get used to this country, get used to the players, get used to his teammates. I think he's probably at an advantage and a head start there because he doesn't need to get used to the league. He knows some of the players and there's 4 or 5 he's named there. He definitely knows how to settle into this league. And I think Mikel Arteta has made it quite clear in terms of his attributes of what he's going to bring to Arsenal. He said himself that he can bring pace, he can bring power, he can bring flair, he can bring technique, ability, skill, and goals. And that's what I need my wide attackers to do. So I hope that he's right there. We've got to see what he's like. I'm going to reserve judgment until he starts kicking ball for us. That's what I'll tell you. That's what I will say. So here we go. He's quite distinctive. He's obviously got his bandana. A lot of people are doing that already. They're bringing out their bandana and they're starting using it already. Look, I hope Madueke does well. What was interesting was when we were getting an announcement around about the time that Noni Madueke was signing, the pictures came out and there was one that was leaked. And it is, of course, Christian Mosquera, who is having his interview. Now, this is quite funny because either one or two things has happened here. The Arsenal guy who's leaked this is probably now sacked. Or the Arsenal guy who's leaked this was probably knowing he was getting sacked and thought, let's just give the fans something to get a little bit excited before I go. Look, I don't think it's that deep and I don't think it's that serious. I'm, of course, talking tongue-in-cheek. However, there is a leaked image of Mosquera's Arsenal interview. I'll get to images here. So it does look like he's also signed and they're preparing all of the documentation, paperwork, and then the media side of things. Here, you can see him getting interviewed by Arsenal. So it looks like we have our guy. Let's move into here a little bit later. But for me, Noni Madueke is humbled and blessed to be here. He says, thanks to everyone that's made it possible. He can't wait to get on the pitch and start to repay the faith shown in him. It's going to be special. God is the greatest. Let's go Arsenal. Now, I think when he says get on the pitch and repay the faith shown in him, I don't think there has been a lot of faith shown in him. And what I will say about the Arsenal fan base is they're very quick at times to get on the back of it. And if I'm honest, I don't like the player. I don't particularly like the signing. I'll tell you this. I ain't going to sit there and get the ump or start booing him. If he starts putting in bad performances, I ain't going to blame Noni Madueke. Just like I don't blame Kai Havertz. The manager bought these players. So people that are saying, oh, he's going to fail, and then loving off what Mikel Arteta is doing and what Berta has done, obviously, this summer, you can't have it both ways. If he starts to absolutely kill it and smash it and deliver, you've got to say, Mikel, fair play. Berta, thank you. It really is that black and white, peeps. It really is. I don't think we're going to see a little bit of a grey area of Noni Madueke. I think he's either going to be really good or I think he's going to take some time. And I hope that he is really good. So we have to look now to see what he's going to do in an Arsenal shirt. That's for sure. That's for sure. Thierry Henry has been talking. Men in Blazers has put a TikTok out in relation to this. Apparently, Thierry Henry has said the following. Do I think that Mikel Arteta is doing a great job? A tremendous job? Do I think he should get the sack? Hell no. Am I going to think we're going to win the league this year? Yes. It's been good. It's got to be better. Okay. I think in a nutshell, what Thierry Henry is saying here and why it's been clipped up, people are trying to say, oh, he doesn't rate Arteta. He doesn't like Arteta. Rah, rah, rah. I haven't watched this. I haven't. I've seen it announced here. But from what I can understand from this paragraph, right, I think what he's trying to say here, Thierry, is I think Mikel Arteta has done a great job so far getting us challenging. I don't think he should get the sack. Do I think we're going to win the league? Yeah, of course I do. But we have to. Because we have to be better than we have been. So what I think in a nutshell, he's going, great job, Mikel. Got us up there again. Challenging. It's brilliant to see. But when? Not if. When are we going to be celebrating trophies? When are we going to be achieving silverware to lift in May? Or maybe we can get a Carabao Cup towards February, March. When is that going to happen? It has to be this season. And I think Thierry Henry's spot on, just like I thought he was spot on when he was talking about how high the buildings are. Like, how long is this going to take? Arsenal need to get across the line. This is a guy with a mentality of wanting to win and someone who did win. And when he lost, he wanted to win. He used to hate it when he didn't win. So I'm sorry, but I can't not get behind one of the biggest legends of Arsenal Football Club ever. I can't not say that he's not talking sense because he absolutely is. And I also can't say that I don't think that it's fair for him to put pressure and criticise the manager and the owners and the board because that's what we should be doing as a fan base. Thierry Henry is a fan, people. Thierry Henry is a fan who absolutely loves the club and he wants us winning. And when we're not winning, he will give his opinion as to why he doesn't think we're winning. And it ain't going to be pretty at times. Some of these pundits are not going to say, Arsenal, why aren't they winning? Just been unlucky. Really? Yep, just been unlucky. Any other season would have won it. What about Mikel Arteta? Best manager I've ever seen. What about the squad you've got at the moment? Unbelievable. One of the best we've seen since the Invincibles. What about the injuries you got? I know. Awful, wasn't it? Referees? Yep, they hate us. Red cards? I know. Tell me again. No, it ain't going to be about that. Yeah? Some of these pundits are going to come out and they're going to say, Arsenal look brilliant, don't they? Got to win something, though. And there's not one fan that can go, that's harsh, out of order, out of order. It's facts, unfortunately. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Because he is an absolute legend telling you how it is. And some of these people don't like to hear it. And it's very bizarre to me. I can't understand how you can go against a legend in Thierry Henry by saying one thing. Arsenal need to win. How's that negative? How's that toxic? But we get it. Oh, Dan Potts is negative. He wants Arsenal to win. Sorry. That sounds very negative to me. Let's move to Ben Jacobs because he is talking about what everybody wants me to talk about now. And I know we're only 18 minutes in. It is going to be a shorter show tonight because of the fight. But I will say this. Where is Gyökeres? Where is Victor Gyökeres? Well, Ben Jacobs has apparently said that Arsenal are hoping for a breakthrough in negotiations with Sporting for Gyökeres over the weekend. There's a small portion of the add-ons still under discussion. The player's waiting for permission to undergo a medical. I need to be serious with you, chat. I need everybody in the chat to listen to the next few minutes very carefully. Not that you don't listen to me, all the time, but what I'm going to say in the next few minutes is rather embarrassing. I celebrated the signing of Victor Gyökeres last Sunday. We are now almost a week on and he is not an Arsenal player. I'll go on further. We were told last Wednesday, not the Wednesday just gone, the one before, that he was now decided over Sesko. On the Sunday, it was announced that he is going to be coming to Arsenal. We then got told, for whatever reason, that it was a little bit of a delay and that this week it was going to be a huge week, according to Henry Winter, where players were going to be leaving and loads were coming in. Well, so far, that whole week, we signed Madueke, who we all know was coming to Arsenal. We believe Mosquera is imminent, which will come too soon, but Gyökeres has been nowhere nearer to being done. What is happening here? Please, someone explain to me what is happening here. Why are we mucking around with 2, 3, 4, 5 million pounds? It was the absolute priority, in Arteta's words and Berta's words, to get a striker on the plane. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a striker on the plane, does it? It looks like we're going to be going into the games in pre-season with Havertz and Marino as our two strikers. That's what it looks like we're going to be doing. And that's disgraceful, if I'm honest. They don't deserve any praise or credit here. What a window they're having. Kepa's in, right? Got Norgard in. Yep, that's cool. Keep going. Zubamendi. Yep, okay. Can we get further up the pitch, please? Madueke. Yep, what about the striker? Come on. We're still negotiating. Can't get all these players in. It's not FIFA. It's not Football Manager. But we wanted the striker, did we not, for the pre-season tour? Give it time. Patience. We need to be a bit more patient, I think, because this ain't getting done today. Is it going to get in time for when they go away? Well, don't they go away tomorrow? I don't think there's going to be any time to get these players here. It's madness, if I'm honest. It's madness. But, it's weird. Let's break this down, because Ben Jacobs has said 3 or 4 sentences there that I just think we need to look at seriously and start asking questions about how we can't get this done. Why is this taking so long? It's like the Brian Mbeumo situation at Manchester United that's only just been done after 6 weeks. This is mad. Absolutely crazy. So, this is what Ben Jacobs has said. Arsenal hope for a breakthrough in negotiations with Gyökeres over the weekend. So now, it's over the weekend. This was 20 hours ago, by the way. We are over the weekend now. It's another day gone since this has been put out and nothing has been announced whatsoever. There's a small portion of add-ons that are still under discussion. Why has it taken 9 to 10 days for these add-ons to be discussed? Please explain to me how it can take almost 8 to 9 days for add-ons to be agreed. It is almost like saying, can I buy a Mars bar? Yes, sir. It's 89 pence. I'll give you 80. No, it's 89. I'll give you 81. No, it's 89. Okay, give me a week. I'll come back a week later. I'll give you 82. No, it's 89. Like, what is happening, man? Like, it is quite bizarre that we are still talking about negotiations here. This is not an expensive deal to get done. With Noni Madueke, 52 million, we'll give you 52 million. With Kai Havertz, we want 65. There's your 65. With Victor Gyokeres, we want this plus add-ons. Well, we'll give you that. And give us a few weeks because we might come back with a couple more mil. Just go and get it done, man. Just go and get it done. What are we hanging about for? I really can't understand it. Yeah? I really can't understand it. So, this is the latest info. This is what you all want to hear. Well, here we go. Small portion of add-ons. The player's waiting for permission to undergo a medical. Now, this is the bit that winds me up the most. He is sitting there waiting. I want Arsenal. I want Arsenal. I'll tell you what, I'll leave Sporting Lisbon now. I won't ever play for him again. I won't attend their pre-season. I won't worry about my 2 million salary. But all of a sudden, he's still not an Arsenal player. Now, I do think this is happening. And people can say in the chat, he's crying again. I'm not crying. I just need to see my centre forward. Just like you. Yeah? Gyökeres' dad is crying. Yeah, I've seen Carmel's put it in the chat saying that he doesn't believe the deal can happen and he's crying about it. It's a rubbish source. I don't believe it. I do think this will happen. I just don't think it's going to happen quickly. And we are clearly not interested in rushing this one through to get him in time for pre-season, which I think is madness. Now, he could potentially go on the plane and join them in the next week or so, but I want him here. I want him here, man. It's rather embarrassing that we can get players like Kepa, Madueke, Norgard, Zubamendi, and of course, players like that over the line, Mosquera, etc. We cannot get the likes of Gyökeres, who is the one player that would take every single Arsenal fan from, it's all right window to, whoa, okay, this is good. Now, let me put a poll. because a lot of people are really seriously worried about this. They don't think it's happening. It would have been done by now. Tell you what, let's put it bluntly. Is the Gyökeres deal going to collapse? We'll make it dramatic like some people like, right? Is the Gyökeres deal going to collapse? Yes or no? There we go. It's in the poll. It's in the chat. Poll in the chat. Get involved. Let me know what you think. I would love to get your opinions on this one. Is the Gyökeres deal going to collapse? Majority of you at the moment are saying no. 60-40 is where we're at. 60% of you believe no, it will not collapse, but 40% think that it will. Wow. That's not good. That's not good. I hope that tomorrow we know. If they mess this up, it is a sackable offence. Let me just tell you that. If they mess this up, it is a sackable offence. From Arteta, from Berta, from Garlic, from all these guys, sackable. And the owners need to put serious pressure on them to get this done. And that's my big question mark. Do they? Do they have much of a say about it? Or do they just give them the money, trust it, and go do what you want with it? Let me know what you need, and we'll see you again next season. We have to get this guy. We have to. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, hit the like button, people, because there's nowhere near enough likes. We've got 232 likes, but there's 1,290 of you watching. So make sure you do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe. Let's get the subscribers up as well to 50K. We need around about 3,500. So let's get it up to 50K because we need to. We really do. Still 60-40 on this poll, by the way, over 300 votes. We've got, is the Gyökeres deal going to collapse? Yes, 41%. No, 59%. So hopefully you're right. 59% of you get what you want. And Gyökeres, well, let's be real, not just 59%. I think 100% people want to see Gyökeres in an Arsenal shirt now. So let's hope that it can happen because it's very important that it does. Okay, this news was today about Yaya Toure when he used to do a preseason for us. He's then come out in a podcast talking about how Arsenal has always been his dream. He was on trial, was sharing a dressing room with his idol, Patrick Vieira, going to Highbury. And he wanted to come to the club. And I remember we signed, of course, Kolo Toure over him. And I think it's one of the ones we let go, to be fair. Arsenal were going to face the Championship side Watford in a behind closed doors preseason friendly today. If anyone knows what happened with that, please let me know, because I've not been around to get the understanding of that. So if you do know that, put me in the chat. Let us know if we beat them. Let me know if you know the scores. Let me know if you know who scored, and go from there. We won 3-0. There we go. Didn't even know that. I've been away from football today. I've got to be honest, it's been a family day for me. 3-0 Arsenal. Let us know in the chat who scored. Some people are saying it's 2-0. Some people are saying it's 3-0. So there we go. 2-0, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-0. Was it 2-0 or 3-0, people? Was it 2-0 or 3-0? Let's. Do you know what? Why should I get 400 people or so messaging me? Let's just find out, shall we? Arsenal 3-0 against Watford. There we go. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is interesting. I won't share it. I'll just read it out. So it was 3-0. Excuse me. Wow. Okay, it was 3-0. Played Watford today in a friendly. The goal scorers were Kai Havertz with a tap-in, Saliba, a header from a corner, and Norgard, who scored an overhead kick from 30 yards. Sorry. That can't be right. An overhead kick. I mean, was it 2-0 and they're mucking around? Is that what it is? There's no way that that's true. Yeah, 2-0, right? Someone's put, this is wrong. The overhead kick was actually from 40 yards. That's class, man. A overhead kick from 30 yards. Imagine. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if that was true? And he actually did get an overhead kick. That's absolutely mad. I'm guessing that Havertz and Saliba did score because people in the chat were saying it. But yeah, could you imagine what a debut that would be? Norgard scoring from a overhead kick with 30 yards. Can you imagine that? Yeah, obviously that's fake. But I still don't know if it was 2-0 or 3-0, by the way. No, it was 3-0. Apparently it was 3-0. No other information is known other than we won 3-0. Goal scorer is yet to be confirmed. Great to see preseason starting on a positive. People are making... I'll tell you what, Twitter, or is it not called Twitter now, X, is a crazy place, man. I'll tell you this now. Norgard scored from 30 yards. Yeah, it just makes you put your head in your hands, doesn't it, like I did? Like, really? What are people on? But yeah, so there we go. I don't know if it was Havertz, Saliba, and Norgard that actually did score, and that they're just actually like mucking around about how they scored or what. But yeah, hopefully it was a good one. So yeah, it looks like there's been a lot of people saying 3-0, but some people are saying 2-0 that we won. So I ain't got a clue. Anyway, so there we go. Gunner blogger saying that despite the noise, Madueke is not phased. Those close to him remark on his strong mentality. He sees any negativity around the signing as a challenge and is energized by the opportunity to work hard to prove people wrong. I'll say this. If there is genuine concern from Noni Madueke, I'd be surprised, because as much as it does affect Thierry, he's only 23. He's probably had this before. He probably had it when he missed chances at PSV, or maybe he had it at Chelsea where people get on his back and they wanted him to go. So a lot of Chelsea fans did want him to go and get upgraded upon. I hope that he does use it to thrive. I hope he does use it and puts it in the bank to actually say, yeah, do you know what? Let's prove these guys wrong. I've seen this before. Believe it or not, I've seen it with Granit Xhaka. When he was getting booed and when he took his shirt off, and then all of a sudden people were singing one more year. I think Bellerin had it as well one year, where he was kind of being told, you're not a part of my club and all this rubbish. But actually, he turned it around, and although he did have to go in the end, he was seen as our starting right back, and people liked him a lot for the next couple of years until he did go. Same with Xhaka, he was loved until he went. You know, in the end, he was actually really liked, and it looks like he's going to go to Sunderland, 32 years old. What an unbelievable signing that would be for them. So that's Noni. And yeah, the Club World Cup has prevented him from being a massive part of that. So let's go up to the news on Mosquera. Now, a few hours ago, there was a lot of talk about why there's been some discussions around problems with paperwork, problems with documentations. Well, if I'm honest with you, it sounds as if this is all nonsense and it will actually get done. Now, we've already seen a leaked image of there being Mosquera sitting there with an interview, pictures being spoken about. So it looks like he's an Arsenal player. It does say here from Team News and Ticks that there was some issues with Mosquera's medical, which cannot be discussed due to medical confidentiality. Everything will be fine, however, and that's why there's been a delay in the announcement. They've just have to overcome this complication. Now, there's been a lot of talk about, Mosquera and how he might not get done and he might not be in time. Do you know what? It doesn't really bother me if Mosquera is not done in time, but I would prefer it. It's not going to be like, oh my God, lose your head moments because he's not about and he's now not able to mold into the team. I do think there's an opportunity for us to believe that when you get players in through the door and you bring them on pre-season tour, it's so much better. But if Mosquera was to be like, next week, it's fine by me. Gyökeres is the one I want to get done. I want them both done. I just want to announce these players because I was told it was a busy week. And so far, let's be real. The only thing that we've done is Madueke is being announced. That's it. So, Mosquera, let's hope it gets done. I want to talk on Fabio Vieira quick because apparently Parma are interested. Vieira's interested in reuniting with Carlos Cuesta at Parma. Arsenal want 20 million euros. There's a possibility of finding middle ground for an agreement. Some patience is needed. Parma are happy to take their time in a move. Do you know what's mad? If I was to get a pound coin for any time the Arsenal fan base, the Arsenal supporters were told to be patient, or patience is needed, or just have some patience, just be a little bit more patient, just spend a little bit more time, I would be a very rich man. Do you know what? I'd actually go as far to say that the amount of times I've supported Arsenal and heard the word patience, I could probably afford to buy Gyökeres myself. Real talk. So that's where I'm at. As for Fabio Vieira, I think he should go. I think he should go and revive his career. I think 20 million euros is about right for a player of that quality. He's still young, and I know that we paid double that, but that was absolutely ludicrous signing. It was never, ever, ever going to be a player that I ever thought was going to be next level. As soon as I saw him play, I thought, oh dear, what have we signed here? Not because he didn't have technical ability, because in fact he does have. What I didn't like was his on the ball and off the ball strength. Weak, lightweight, gets fouled, rolls around on the floor, and is not suited to this league. Needs to go back to Portugal or Spain. And I'm sure for 20 million euros, somebody will take him. Now, it looks now like Parma are interested in him over in Italy. And I hope that with Carlos Cuesta being there, that we can get a deal done. Obviously, he's seen him in the flesh. He's seen him up close. And I think he'll want him. 20 million. Let's just get it done. 20 million is about 17 million euros. It's a good amount for all around. Just get him gone. He's not a player that we need to be seeing. He really isn't. So I've got to be honest. That is something I want to see happen now, is Fabio Vieira leaving. Okay, let's take a look at who has gone on the preseason traveling. Where are we here? Okay, let's just read it out here because they have got a full list there, but let's just go for it. So Arsenal's travelling squad for the Asia Tour is as follows. David Raya, William Saliba, he's now fit. Ben White, now fit. Gabriel Magalhaes, fit. Bukayo Saka, fit. Martin Odegaard, fit and not gone undergoing surgery. Gabriel Martinelli, Jurrien Timber, fit again. Kepa, Jakub Kivior, Christian Norgard, new signing. Zinchenko's gone, as has Trossard. Ethan Nwaneri, after it looks he's signed a new long-term contract to Arsenal. Brilliant news. Mikel Merino has gone. Reece Nelson has obviously recovered from his hamstring injury. And I think Fulham and Palace are looking at him. Sambi Lokonga has gone, but he is being looked at by teams. Kai Havertz is fit. Calafiori is fit. Setford, he's obviously our third choice goalkeeper. Zubamendi makes the tour. We've got Lewis Copley, who, of course, is now signed with Per Mertesacker as our youth academy. Declan Rice has gone because he was obviously staying put behind, not training. He was doing bits and pieces individually. He has travelled, though. Cabia, who's obviously looks like he's going to be promoted to the first team. They've got a lot of hope for him. He's very pacey, very quick. Josh Nichols, we all know as a right back, is going to be on tour again as he was last season. Miles Lewis-Skelly. We have got Alexei, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name. Max Dowman has gone. Very, very interested to see what sort of minutes he gets. And of course, we've got Marley Salmon as well. So these are the players that have gone. I've got to be honest with you. I'm actually quite excited to see some of them because I don't know a lot about them. But actually what I'm looking at on tour is to see who looks fit, who looks sharp, who looks like they're going to be in a position where they can actually get, a proper chance in the first team. What's Ethan Nwaneri and Lewis-Skelly going to look like in comparison a year on to last year? And how much involvement will there be for Max Dowman? That's what I want to know. Are we going to see Max Dowman? Are we going to be in the position where the fan cams are coming out and the reaction of content, of Arsenal content creators all across the globe are talking about Max Dowman like they were Ethan Nwaneri and Lewis-Skelly? Or is it going to be to another level? Because a lot of people are like, wow, Ethan looks absolutely brilliant and Lewis-Skelly looks good as well. Are we going to now be saying Max Dowman is the next big thing? Are we going to? It'll be very interesting to see. That's for sure. Okay, what's next on here? We've got a 30-man squad, which included in a couple of 15-year-olds in Marley Salmon, who's here with Max Dowman. Both of these guys are here, 15 years old. Absolutely amazing opportunity. Okay, so we did beat Watford 3-0, but there's no one telling me who scored. I'm just going to pretend like that Christian Norgard thing happened and it was from 30 yards as an overhead kick. Congratulations to Dame Augustin. He signed his first professional contract of Arsenal, having joined the club from Derby. Fair play to him. Obviously, we've got the full 30-man squad now that's gone out to the Asian tour. So that should be really interesting to see what happens over the coming couple of weeks. We have got the Irish Independent that understands that Arsenal are poised to seal a pre-contract agreement with Victor Osianovuna. Victor, we'll call him. He's 16, which will allow him to remain with Shamrock Rovers until he turns 18. And it could be a deal which would shatter the League of Ireland, a record fee of 1.9 million euros. I have no idea who he is, but obviously we're looking for the future. This one comes in from Ryan Taylor Sports saying that Mosquera underwent his medical tests on Wednesday. Arsenal was still waiting for the deal to be formally ratified after exchanging all relevant paperwork with Valencia. He could join up with the squad for their tour of Asia at a later date. We had hoped to sign Gyökeres before their departure for Asia today, but sporting stubbornness throughout negotiations remained advanced has delayed the transfer. So basically what we've got ourselves into here is Madueke can't go out there because he's on rest because of the Club World Cup, right? We haven't been able to get Mosquera or Gyökeres in time for them to fly out. So all three of them are basically going to miss the Asian tour as things stand. That isn't good enough. I'm sorry. I'm all for getting Kepa, Zubimendi and Norgard across the line, but that is the only three players that we're going to have now going out to Asia for pre-season. That means that the likes of Gyökeres, Mosquera and Madueke will all be looking towards August at this rate, unless, of course, they can fly out there at a later date individually. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. There's been plenty of time to get Gyökeres. There's been plenty of time to get this Mosquera deal. There's even been plenty of time to get Eze, who's a release clause. But we take so long. We're so slow with it all the time. Frustrates me, man. I'm sorry. I know people think I'm negative and pessimistic. I'm not saying it's not good that we're signing 3 and we're looking to get another 3 in. 6 signings is more than I thought we'd get. But let's get them, yeah? It's mad. It really is. Let me stop sharing for just 1 second. Let's do some of your questions because I like some of the super chats that are coming in. I'm going to have to look to get some of these read out. Andrew Wright says, Isak's gone from not for sale to 150 million. We're going to come to this. Trust me. That's going to be very soon before we wrap up. Per, big up to you, bro. He says, I don't buy that there's no middle ground with Madueke. Arteta fans will cherry-pick vague stats to claim he's a success, just like with Havertz. Look, there are going to be a lot of Arteta fans that are going to say this is a wonderful bit of business, just like they've done so far with Kepa and Norgard. We have to actually see him play before we start calling it amazing bit of business. Because let's be real, an amazing bit of business is Nicolas Anelka for 500 grand. That's an amazing bit of business. When he goes and wins you a double and you sell him for 25 million. That's an amazing bit of business. Kai Havertz is not an amazing bit of business, and neither is Noni Madueke. But you have to at least see what Noni Madueke is going to do, first of all. Because if he goes and smashes it and gets 25 goals for us, then you would say it's good business. Kepa, amazing bit of business. Raya gets injured and he keeps clean sheet and wins the Golden Glove. You'll say for 5 million, that's amazing business. Christian Norgard, we end up playing him more than Zubimendi because Zubimendi gets an injury and he ends up winning us the double. I'm going to say that's an amazing bit of business. But I can't sit there now and say, amazing business. They haven't kicked a ball for us. Let's actually see what they're about first. Kenny Ken said it right the other night when we were trying to rate the window. I rate it in May and I rate it towards the mid-season when they start playing for us. Farhan says, let's be real, the Cronkies will never sack Arteta. Look, I don't think that they will, if I'm honest with you. I really don't think that they will. I think they'd have to finish like 7th. Jarek says, I wish I could haggle ticket prices the way Arsenal haggle transfer fees. Cronky out. Yeah, this transfer negotiation stuff is a little bit wild, if I'm honest, particularly for Victor Gyökeres. I've got to be honest, it's mad. It really is mad. So let's see. It's mad. It really is mad. This makes me laugh from Andy, by the way. This is hilarious. Breaking news. Gyökeres has finally become an Arsenal player. The player has said, I always dreamed to sign for Arsenal on my 30th birthday. Class. For those, he's 27, by the way. So he's saying that it's going to take 3 years to sign him, just to clear it up in the chat, just in case you're asking for where the source is or anything. He is, of course, mucking around. But, of course, there's still a long way to go. And I appreciate that. I do. Fabio Vieira has been given an extended break after featuring for Porto, but Gabriel Jesus will remain in London as he continues his recovery from knee surgery. That could be quite an interesting one. All documents related to the signing of Mosquera have been completed. So it looks like we have signed Mosquera. We know we have. We saw the link, right? It looks like we will sign Gyökeres, but it won't be really for what, in time for what we want. And then it's all on Eze and Rodrygo. But some interesting news today came out about Alexander Isak. Now, I'm not saying that Arsenal are in for Isak. I don't think he's for sale. I still believe that Newcastle have the favourites to keep him. I know interested is, of course, Liverpool, but Ben Jacobs has reported that Eddie Howe said today, after a loss of 4-0 to Celtic, what on earth happened there? He said, it was my decision to leave out Isak. I decided to send him home due to all the speculation around him. The last thing he wanted was to be sat in the stands watching. That wasn't fair on him. But I'm confident he'll be a Newcastle player come the end of this window. He says Liverpool are still intent to move if there's a given encouragement, whether now or in future windows. Now, of course, Liverpool are very interested. We know this. But Liverpool are already putting in bids for Gyökeres, and it looks like my phone's just flashed up now to say that they've put in a second bid for Gyökeres, which we believe is in the region of around 80 million euros, I think was what they were looking at. I think he's going to go to Liverpool. But I spoke to Pete. Well, I didn't speak to Pete. I saw Pete today, and he was worried for the first time because those comments from Eddie Howe are very interesting. He's had to leave him out. That means his head's been turned. That means his head's scrambled. That means he's been unsettled somehow. Because there's players that are being linked here, there, and everywhere that are playing football. They haven't been taken out of the limelight. I appreciate it's a big potential summer signing, but I don't think you do that unless the player's unhappy or unsettled. And it just makes me wonder whether Liverpool are going to go back in now. Because Eddie Howe saying that was a bit crazy for me. I can't lie. I find that a bit bizarre. So watch this one. Isak and Liverpool, I still don't think it's done. I've got to be honest. I've never thought it is. A lot of people say he's definitely staying. I've never thought that they wouldn't go in and put in a bid. I think they'll get Ekitike. I think they'll sell Diaz. I think they'll sell Nunez. And I think they'll go all out for Isak. If they don't go all out for Isak, they'll potentially go all out for Rodrygo. And I think Liverpool are going to end up having an unbelievable summer and potentially look at being favourites to going back-to-back. So let's see. Let's finish by talking on Rodrygo because there really is no Eze links whatsoever. That one's gone very quiet. Whether that means Arsenal are no longer interested or not, I don't know. But I will say that I do feel like Eze to Arsenal could happen. I think we're trying to negotiate for whatever reason to get below the release clause. And I just don't think that Arsenal or Palace are going to come to an agreement if they do that. I think it's going to have to be release clause and get him. So there's been quite a lot of rumours about Rodrygo, which is where I want to kind of come to a close. Obviously, Rodrygo has been told by Real Madrid that it could be that he's destined for a move away. And there's Diaz movement potentially to Bayern Munich. Liverpool being willing to sell Diaz if Bayern get close to 80 million. And there's been some talk that Rodrygo could come in as replacement. Now, of the last week, it's gone from Rodrygo could be available and Arsenal look favourites to this week, Liverpool look favourites. And I don't know where he would go out of the two. Now, people laugh when I say that, but I genuinely don't think that it is as close as, well, we'll go Liverpool because they win. I actually do think people underestimate how flattering and how exciting a move to Arsenal is. It's not like he's comparing Liverpool and Wigan here. This is a serious club. Both of them are, that can win trophies this season. So Rodrygo wants to make his mind up. Apparently, Real Madrid are demanding more than 100 million for Rodrygo before opening negotiations. And that's come from Romano. And I appreciate that they're going to want more than that because 100 million euros is 84 million pounds. Rodrygo, you could quite easily, if Diaz is going for 80 million to Bayern, Real Madrid are going to look at that and think, well, we want 90 for Rodrygo then, just to start. And they'll be looking to get closer to 100 million pounds, I think, if I'm honest with you. So it's going to cost a lot of money. He's the one that I want. I want him alongside Eze, not instead of. It's going to be really interesting, that's for sure. Apparently, though, he's been in two minds. He loves Real Madrid. He feels he could still offer a lot, but he feels he has the opportunity to be a star at another club. And this is where he's at now, right? Do you want to be a fish that is the absolute top of the pond? Or do you want to be kind of a smaller fish in a big pond is what they call it, isn't it? Or a big fish in a small pond. Do you want to be surrounded by stars or do you want to be the star? And I think that Rodrygo's been surrounded by the likes of Vinny and Mbappe and Bellingham and Valverde and Modric. And now all of a sudden he's thinking, maybe I could be the Mbappe of Arsenal. Maybe I can be the Vinny Jr. of Liverpool. That's potentially what he's looking at. So I understand that. Obviously, here it's saying that Barcelona hope that Liverpool will sign Rodrygo, which could unblock their pursuit of Luis Diaz. That could be very interesting what happens with Diaz. And I think there could be a domino effect here, to be fair. And then there's news suggesting that Barcelona are interested in Rodrygo as well as Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford's been linked to go to Barcelona today on loan with some potential of payment and a fee. Obviously, they wanted Nico Williams. That's no longer happening. It sounds like they wanted Luis Diaz. Martinelli was mentioned to Bayern Munich. There's not many left wingers on the market, is there? The only one that everybody absolutely wants is Rodrygo. And the only one everybody wanted in January was Kvaratskhelia, although PSG got their man. After that, Lookman, Semenyo, Rafael Leao, Mitoma. There's others, if I'm honest. There's others. Martinelli, Diaz, obviously, if you're not an Arsenal or Liverpool fan, are being spoken about. Rashford's even being spoken about. When Rashford's being spoken about, you know that there's going to be tough talent out there on the left when he's the guy being linked. It really is mad. Rodrygo's in two minds, as I've mentioned previously. Barcelona interested. I don't know what we think about this. I don't think we are getting Rodrygo. But I tell you what I need to see. Arsenal in the mix for it. Arsenal showing ambition for it. Arsenal going in all out for it so that we can actually get our name in the hat for him. That's what I need to be seeing for sure. For sure. Super chat. Hey, big up from Greece. In my opinion, bring a proper left winger and Eze, and this window is easily the best window I've ever witnessed. All right, let's leave it there. Let's actually come to an end with this super chat because I like it. And I've said this, and I'll say it again, and people can clip me up now. Mr. Negative, I'm the toxic one. I'm going to say something really positive. If our window consists of Kepa, Norgard, Zubamendi, Mosquera, Eze, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Rodrygo, that's 8 players, I will tip Arsenal to win the Premier League. Because we've got the best squad. We would have. So that's what I need to see happening. If the squad isn't clear of Liverpool, I could debate it and say, yeah, Liverpool may be just. But that doesn't mean that Arsenal shouldn't win the Premier League. Because for me, the only reason that Arsenal weren't able to win a trophy, a Premier League, a Champions League, was because they didn't have a gunsman, a bagsman. And that is now what they've got. The only reason they weren't able to win a trophy was because they didn't have a striker, they didn't have backup to Saka, and they didn't have a proper clinical, prolific left winger. They didn't have any creativity. Well, I tell you what, we just bought a bagsman in Gyökeres, hopefully. We've got cover for Saka now in Madueke. We've got a proper, prolific left winger if we buy Rodrygo. We've got creativity in Eze. We brought in Zubamendi and Norgard to replace Jorginho and Partey. We brought in Mosquera, who's going to actually finally give us cover for Saliba. And we've got the backup goalkeeper. So tell me that we ain't got a good enough squad to go and win a trophy. I'm tipping us to win the Premier League if that's our summer. It's got to be that, though. It can't be, oh, we didn't get him. Oh, we didn't get him. Oh, we didn't. Oh, do you still think we... No, I don't then. I believe we will win the league if we go and bring in now Rodrygo, Eze, and Gyökeres. I will tip us to win the league. So there we go. Listen, people, I'm going to leave it there because obviously we've got the Usyk fight now, which I'm going to go and watch. I'm on Hassam's channel at 11 o'clock tonight before I go to bed. I've said that I'm free for that one, so that should be an interesting stream. So make sure you go follow him over there. That's what I will say. Hassam's a legend, man. Absolutely love Hassam. I absolutely love Hassam. He is one of my favorite people. I've got a lot of time for him. So this one should be a fun one tonight. I'm going to send you over to Dan United, who at the moment is absolutely smashing it with his brand new channel. So go and show him some love. Go and spam the chat. Say Dan Potts raid. Say Dan Potts sent me. Yeah. And then just say to him, finally, Rashford out. That's what we need to say. Finally, Rashford out. Go say that to him. Big up to every single one of you. For those that are enjoying the fight, go and enjoy the boxing. Make sure you scan that QR code there for Match Bingo. Get involved. Download the app. Credit your account. Get your tickets. And good luck. Let me know if you win. We'll see you next time, people. We're out of here.